In the desolate heart of the Sahara Desert, far from civilization, stood an abandoned factory. Once a bustling hub of industry, it was now a decaying shell, filled with rusted machinery and broken windows. The locals whispered about it in hushed tones, calling it the Factory of Wails. Legend had it that decades ago, a tragic accident had claimed the lives of all the workers inside. Some said a faulty machine had exploded. Others spoke of a vengeful spirit seeking retribution. Whatever the cause, the result was the same: a factory filled with restless souls. One sweltering summer night, a group of 4 friends, Sam, Claire, Jake, and Emily, decided to explore the factory. They were thrill seekers, always looking for the next big scare, and the stories about the factory intrigued them. Armed with flashlights and a video camera, they set off into the desert. As they approached the factory, a chill ran down their spines despite the oppressive heat. The air was heavy with a sense of foreboding. The massive gates creaked open as if they hadn't been touched in years, and the friends stepped inside. The interior was pitch black, save for the beams of their flashlights cutting through the darkness. The silence was deafening, broken only by the sound of their footsteps echoing off the walls. They ventured deeper into the factory, their nerves on edge. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream echoed through the halls. It was a sound filled with pain and despair, unlike anything they had ever heard. The friends froze, their hearts pounding. Claire clutched Sam's arm, her eyes wide with terror. "What was that?" she whispered. "I don't know," Sam replied, his voice trembling, "but we need to keep moving." They pressed on, the air growing colder with each step. As they turned a corner, they saw a shadowy figure at the end of the hallway. It was hunched over, its form twisted and unnatural. The figure let out a low moan, a sound that seemed to pierce their very souls. Jake raised his flashlight, illuminating the figure. It was a man, or what was left of him. His eyes were hollow, his skin pale and translucent. He reached out a bony hand, his fingers curled into claws. "Help me," he groaned, his voice filled with agony. The friends stumbled back, their flashlights flickering. The figure dissolved into the darkness, leaving behind an icy chill. They could hear whispers now, disembodied voices crying out in anguish. The walls seemed to close in around them, the air thick with the stench of decay. Emily began to sob, her fear overwhelming her. "We need to get out of here," she cried. "This place is cursed." They turned to leave, but the factory had other plans. The doors slammed shut, trapping them inside. The screams grew louder, the air filled with the sounds of wailing and moaning. The friends were surrounded by the spirits of the factory, their tormented faces appearing and disappearing in the darkness. Sam tried to force the doors open, but they wouldn't budge. "We're trapped," he shouted, panic setting in. The spirits closed in, their ghostly hands reaching out to touch the living. The friends felt a cold, clammy grip on their skin, pulling them into the darkness. The factory was alive with the cries of the damned, their suffering eternal. As the night wore on, the friends' screams joined the chorus of the factory.